Hi, it's Father John Rushofsky. I'm standing here presenting to you a new episode of The Shepherd's Voice. I'm in the balcony, or choir loft, of St. Athanasius Church. You can see the pipes, some of them, right behind me here. But there are some things here that I really wanted you to see besides the organ itself and the pipes. I direct your attention to the beautiful rose window that is here. We have a nice, bright, sunny day, and so you're able to see the beautiful design in this window and how it really lights up this whole side of the church. We're very fortunate to have architecture that has features like this. I also want you to see what the organist sees. This is the view from the choir loft. Very impressive from up here, isn't it? So we're going to talk to our worship director right now, and he can explain some things about this organ. Well, here we are standing at the console of the St. Athanasius organ. We have in our parish, in our 4 churches, we have 4 different organs. One is an electronic and the other 3 are pipe organs. This organ in particular is unique. It stands out from the others because this is what we call a hybrid. It is part digital and part pipe. And it is a beautiful instrument. It has a very nice sound and a very lovely balance. So this is one of our favorites. And I'm here with our Director of Worship, Ted Rybka, who is very familiar with all of our instruments, this one in particular. And maybe you could just explain the idea of of a hybrid organ that's digital and pipe.
Hello. So this organ in particular, if you look at the original pipe work and the 2 cases, you have a swell chamber over here to my left, and you have the main organ, which is the grate, over here behind Father John to my right. Most of this organ, it was originally a Wicks pipe organ that was installed sometime in the 1950s. And the console here that you see, most of the stops are from the original Wicks pipe. But sometime within the last, I'm going to say 15 years approximately, they redid the organ and added a digital component, as Father John had mentioned. And that was mostly the 3rd division here, which is called the choir. This is mostly digital. And the digital speakers and things are actually installed behind the pipework. You can't see it, but it's there. And that adds a little more flavor to the soup. So they were able to expand the organ by at least 1/3 for much less money by mixing the 2 together. So you can see some of this is pipe, some of this is digital. You can hear some of the pipe. So that's some of the pipe work. If you're going to add something else in, this is the digital. That's an English horn. There's a festival trumpet, which is sometimes used. That's also digital. So when you add everything together, it blends in, and then you can maximize the use of the organ.
Very good. It's a beautiful organ. As I said, it's nicely balanced, it's nicely voiced, and it always fascinates me how the sounds of the pipes and the digital sounds blend together so very well. It just sounds like one unified instrument. So that's a demonstration of our St. Athanasius organ. Now we're going to go see one of our other organs over at St. Teresa. Come along with us. Well, here we are now in St. Teresa Church, and this organ is having some additions made to it that have been in the planning stages for a number of years. And I'm standing here actually to the congregation's left of the altar and the far side of the sanctuary where the choir usually is. And this is one of the new pipe chambers that, as you see, has nothing in it. So there will be very soon there will be ranks of pipes that will be added into this chamber. Right next to it is the chamber that you hear, and you can see there are pipes in there. And we're going to, in a minute, we're going to go inside there and show you what it looks like from the other side. Right now, we're going to show you the console. What is unique about this organ is that it is two organs combined, two organs which I am very familiar with because they both come from churches in McKeesport where I was pastor the first time back in the 90s. These organs have been dismantled, so have the churches, but now they have been combined into this one organ here, which is a very beautiful sounding organ. This is the original console, and if you look at the keys are original as well, and in fact they're a little, well, they're showing signs of wear and tear. So we are in the process of also having the keyboards replaced. So that will not change the sound of the organ. But Ted is here to show us something about this organ.
So, as Father John mentioned, this instrument was originally in McKeesport. This console, most of the pipework and the woodwork that you see throughout the church date back to 1920. So this past year was its centennial, and now 2021 is actually 10 years since we started the installation here at St. Teresa. As Father also mentioned, you can see the aging ivory on here. Some of the covers have been lost due to age and wear and tear. Others are chipping off. But you can see the mahogany inlays that are original, the oak, the carved benches and things. It's excellent craftsmanship. You can't find this today. And you can see most of the instrument is from 1920. From St. Peter's Church. Some of it is also from the 50s, another Wicks organ from Holy Trinity Church, and some newer components will be added in. This is the newer chamber Father was describing earlier. All of these stops will be added into the new organ. Some of these are still from McKeesport that we've had in storage for the last 10 years. And soon, in the back of the church, will be a trumpet and chamade, which will be mounted over the door. So there will be long trumpets that stick out over the heads of the people about 10 feet. So that will be added in as well. But the majority of the organ is actually upstairs, above the altar. That chamber is called the grate.
This really is a beautiful instrument, and Ted's going to show us now some of the nice sounds that it gives us.
So several of the things that came from McKeesport, one of them is called a zimbalstern, and if you listen, you can hear the chimes, and this adjusts the tempo. You can make it as fast or as slow as you like to fit the time signature of the piece. Upstairs in the great chamber, we have chimes, which we sometimes use at Christmas mostly. That can also be adjusted here, the volume level, and believe it or not, that's actually the lowest setting. It's much louder, but we don't use it much louder. Here we have a mixture of strings and flutes and reeds. The organ's known as the king of instruments because it contains so many different sounds and is able to produce so much of the instrument. We have some very nice reeds in this organ. Here's a cornopian. That's in the swell chamber there. A piece that was added back in 2017 as part of the installation was the oboe, and this was done for St. Teresa's 150th anniversary. That's the only one that does not come from McKeesport. That oboe came from St. Anselm Church in Swissvale. And you can hear most of this combined together. new chamber is added in, these stops will produce some new sounds. There's something very interesting here I cannot show you today. This chimney flute, which is sometimes known as a rohr flute, rohr is German for the word chimney. So it's a chimney cap on top of the pipe. It is original from a keyboard. It's 100 years old. I'm excited about installing that, and one of the reasons we saved it, most rohr flutes, the pipe comes as one piece, and the chimney is added on top, and it's soldered on there. This one is so old that the whole thing was fashioned as one piece. There was no soldering at all. You can't find them like that today. So there's great value just in that one stop. So we're very excited to have that added in soon.
What we're going to do now is we're going to go inside the pipe chamber so you can see what the organ looks like from there. Here we are inside the pipe chamber, and this is the swell chamber. And as you see, some of the pipes are vertical and some are horizontal. The reason is the horizontal ones are laid this way because the taller pipes are too long, too high for the low ceiling. So those pipes have to be laid down, and the wind chest is attached to the bottom there.
So this is an attic staircase, a pull down. This is above the work sacristy, which is behind the main altar. This is the only access to get up into the great chamber, which is also behind the crucifix and the interior castle image.
Right? Well, here we are, high above the altar. I wanted to point out that the pipes are made of different materials, and of course they're very different sizes. I told you that downstairs, when we were down there, some of these pipes were laid horizontally because they would not fit. Here, most of the pipes are vertical. Some of the pipes are 16 feet high, and some of them, like these here, are just a few inches. So we have a wide variety of materials too. Some of the pipes, as you see, are metal. Some are very nice shiny metal. Some are wooden. We have different kinds of wood. We have different kinds of metal. We have tin and zinc, I believe. So it's very crowded up here. But again, if you look out through the pipes, you see what the church looks like from the pipe's point of view.
So these green pipes here that you see on the right, they are detailed. You can see with the scroll design and all of the paint. They've actually been saved from demolition twice. They did come from a keysport. We pulled them out of Holy Trinity Church, but they came from St. Mary's German Church on Olive Street. So they've been saved from the wrecking ball twice. This is now their third home.
Well, that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Shepherd's Voice. I'm standing here at the top of the ladder, hanging on for dear life to a wind chest with both hands, and I'm hoping to get back down to safety. But this has been a very enjoyable episode of Shepherd's Voice. That's all for now. Thanks for listening, and on we merrily go.